A disturbing new report from UC San Diego finding more than 1 in 10 freshmen can't do basic math and need remedial classes just to catch up. Jeannie Allen, CEO of the Center for Education Reform, is deeply concerned about this, and she joins us now. Jeannie, I was shocked to see that they expected about 1% of the incoming class to need this remedial math. They wound up having to put about 8.5% of their incoming students into remedial math, and that includes elementary and middle school math subjects. They're in college. What is happening that the system is failing them to the point they don't know remedial math and they're now in college?
Yeah, it really, Sandra, should be shocking.
We should point out this is current data, but then they say later something about some testing that was done recently of students, of a pool of students, which they found that 20% in UC don't have command of Algebra 1. So you hear about that later. That was in the news that way as well. Let's continue.
To most of us, but sadly, it feels like Groundhog Day again. I mean, these freshmen, you have to understand, in 2015 and 16, were in 4th grade. And in California, where most of these students are coming from at UCSD, they were less than 30% proficient in math and reading on average. And for minority kids, of whom they serve a lot, it was less than 20%.
So still today, among Black students and brown students, only 20 to 30% are proficient in math. What's that going to mean for jobs of the future? And one of the things I'll say at the end, well, I'll get to the end, I'll tell you why I think the numbers are that way. And it's interesting to talk about that. I'll allow some time at the end for it. By the way, I'm linking this video below in the description block if you want to look at it later or you want to scan forward. But you probably should. If I'm a parent of a student in high school, I'd say, or middle school, I would look at the video. I would listen to it all the way and know what's going on with students who go to UC. And it's got to be true at other schools too, right? Because they're very selective. Their campuses in UC are more selective. Let's continue.
And so where have we been? Why are we continuing to accredit these schools, allow them to get public and private money, and yet they're like, oops, these incoming freshmen, they need a remedial education. I suspect that those tests are probably a little inflated too. It's more like 30 to 40% on average.
I bet.
College freshmen.
I know that.
Remedial education across the board.
Yeah, I was going to say they have reason to want to probably try to doctor those numbers up just a little bit. So you might even assume there are more needing remedial math than even are getting it. These are the numbers that sort of paint the trend that we're seeing, and it is disturbing for some of us who are laying eyes on this study for the first time. So almost 1 in 5, that's 18% of first-year students at UCSD this year could not pass Algebra 1.
What they mean is could not pass an Algebra 1 class in high school based on that study I told you about when they gave a pool of 400 students, or was it 200 students, a math test. They found that almost 20%, 18.5%, I think it was, could not do Algebra 1 math. This is at UC, our most prestigious, one of the most prestigious groups of schools in the country.
That's 8th grade math. The last I checked, that's 12, 13-year-old kids. And that's compared to just 6% of students who failed to meet the same benchmark back in 2020. We knew it was a problem then. And this is showing us just how bad it has gotten. So as adults, we look at this and we have to ask ourselves, how are we fixing this, Jeannie?
Well, let's also start with the fact that I want to make sure everyone knows out there, this is pre-pandemic. A lot of the report that we just saw talks about concerns of the pandemic, which, yes, we haven't caught up. But it's been worse for 20-year trend. Again, it's a generational issue. What's happening is our students are going to schools. The schools are not prepared to meet their needs. And instead of finding schools that fit the kid, because we know from 3 decades of research, of looking at everything from Catholic schools to charter schools to micro schools, we know that students in the right school can help any child. But you have to have autonomy, you have to have parent engagement, you have to have parent choice, and you have to have students be able to.
See, that's it. School choice is important too. Parents have to have choices, and we don't now, not fully. And parents need to be engaged. You need to be engaged as a parent in this math situation. But we don't have choice here in the state, and that's something that's going to be on the ballot. You'll hear more from me on this, parents. We need to vote for a choice program in this state. School choice. Okay, let's continue.
Have schools personalized to their needs, and sending them to cookie cutter schools, large districts where they're not held accountable, whether they fail or they succeed, is why you end up with students graduating probably with okay GPAs, but really they know very little.
So there's the accountability issue. There's no merit paid for teachers. Teachers unions hate it. So there's no consequences for producing students that can't do math. Remember today, we're not even talking about reading and writing today, but there's issues there too. Parents, you really got to think about what school you're putting your kids in. You know, we're going to talk a lot more about school choice in meetings at our program over at the Family Life Center, but also here in this YouTube channel. We need to pick the proper schools that match our kids, and then we need the state to come in and allow choice. Because if there's competition, these school districts will get better. Let's continue.
This is the thing. Young people are sponges. It doesn't matter what your background is.
I agree.
Poverty
Amen.
is no proxy for achievement.
Amen.
Students can succeed when they have good instruction. We know what that looks like. Great teachers. We know what that looks like.
And a lot of help at home, too. It takes the parents to be on top of this as well. Jeannie, we appreciate you. It is a deep concern for so many. And by the way, it's not just math. They're failing in the basic writing requirements as well. And you think it's just UC San Diego? Harvard, too, just began offering Mathematics MA5 to review foundational skills in algebra, geometry, and quantitative reasoning. So it's happening everywhere.
Okay, so you can see we have a problem. Look, when we're sitting at our homework club, we can see and our students telling us from what they're telling us, they're not being taught. Come on. We got teachers that are teaching them wrong or sending the kids to, like Khan Academy and Delta Math, and that's the teacher. Now, I like Delta Math and Khan Academy as a supplement to instruction. But too many teachers got in the habit during the pandemic of not teaching. Now, I'm seeing too much of this. I got one student in school where the teacher resents students trying different ways of doing the math. If it works, he wants them to do it only one way, only his way. And his way is difficult for inner city students. It's not appropriate. We got to stop all this politics of who's teaching what math class in these public high schools. I see it in private schools too, though. It's a very distressing situation. Parents, what can you do? Send your youth to us, to our homework club, and we're going to have a math club with kind of great awards and games and field trips. We plan on having a super math club that will start in December and go off into next year. We want to get the math performance of our students better. It's time to improve that situation substantially. Once again, if you want to see that video, it's in the description below. I'm also going to have a link to the actual study that was performed on the 200 or 400 students in UC San Diego. I encourage you to click these links and get deeper into the subject. Parents, I'll do more on this too. I want to get deeper in and I want to show you the kind of math they couldn't do at UC San Diego. There's actually examples. Hope to get to that real soon. But God bless you. Remember, click like and subscribe. If you like the content of this video and you'll want to come back for more, subscribe. Please share this video with other parents. That would be great. It improves the reach of our videos. A lot of you wonder how you can help our program. That's how you help. Like and subscribe, share our videos, get them out there to the public because it is a ministry for us. God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.